Yes, I'm live now. Welcome once again to another new video. This is Santu SAHOO and you are watching SAHOO's tutorial. And in this YouTube video, I'll be covering some important MCQ questions on English literature for the upcoming MPSET English literature exam. This is day 6 and in the previous 5 videos I had discussed along with explanation more than 200 MCQ questions. Do join and let me know if everything is okay. Okay, this is a kind of mock test for the upcoming MPSET English literature exam. This is day 6. Do join and let me know if everything is okay. In this YouTube video, I'll be covering more than 30 important MCQ questions along with explanations. Stay tuned. And before starting the session, this is my humble request to all of you. Please do subscribe the channel and tap the bell icon to get more notification and to stay updated. And even do not forget to hit the like button and share with your friends. So this is a kind of mock test. Do join and let me know if everything is okay. I'll be covering more than 30 important MCQ questions in this YouTube video. So it will definitely help you to crack the MPSET exam. And this is the day 6. In the previous 5 videos, I have already discussed more than 200 MCQ questions. Good evening to everyone, those who have joined and those who are okay. I don't want to waste your time. Let's begin the session here. Let's begin the session here, and here is your first question on your screen. Do join and let me know if everything is okay. Those who have not joined yet, you can watch this session even later. It will be available in the playlist. Please visit the playlist, that is MPSET English Literature Mock Test, and in that playlist you will get all the videos. Okay. Please visit the playlist, that is MPSET English Literature Mock Test, and in that playlist you will get all the videos that I recently uploaded. So, and those questions will definitely help you to crack the MPSET exam. This is a day C. This is day 6 actually. So let's begin the session, and here is your first question. Here is your first question. Virginia, the daughter of Virginius, is killed by her father written by Chaucer. So Virginia is the daughter of Virginius. It's killed by her father in which tale of Chaucer that was written by Chaucer? Your options are the monk's tale, the clerk's tales, the friar's tales, the physician's tales. Virginia, the daughter of Virginius, is killed by her father in which tale written by Chaucer? Good evening to everyone, those who have joined. And here the right option is actually the physician's tale. Okay, the physician's tale. Okay, Virginia, the daughter of Virginius, is killed by her father in the physician's tale written by Chaucer. So here D is the right answer. And here you see the physician's tale is one of the Canterbury tales written by Geoffrey Chaucer in the 14th century. It's a domestic drama about the relationship between a daughter and her father, based on a tale from the histories of Titus Livius and retold in the Romance of the Rose, as well as John Gower's Confessio Amantis, which Chaucer drew on for inspiration, and the biblical story of Jephthah. Virginius, actually, the character of Virginius, the father of the 14-year-old Virginia, and a knight who kills his daughter rather than give her up to the corrupt judge Appius. Virginia, the daughter of Virginius, not wishing to give herself to Appius, consents to her father's plan. And Appius, the corrupt judge, the main antagonist of the tale, that is the physician's tale, lasts after Virginia and concocts a plan in order to acquire her through legal means. So this is the physician's tale, where Virginia, the daughter of Virginius, is killed by her father, and this is Virginia's physician's tale. Okay. And here is the question number 2. What time does the poem The Raven? Raven is a poem. Okay. Well done. My pleasure. Thank you. Thank you. Welcome. So what time does the poem The Raven take place? The Raven is a poem. The Raven is a poem by Edgar Allan Poe, the dark romanticist. Okay, by Edgar Allan Poe. And who was an American dark romantic writer. Okay, dark romantic writer. The Raven is a poem by Edgar Allan Poe, and he is also known as the inventor of detective fiction. The Raven poem takes place midnight, noon, dawn, morning. So it is December midnight. So it is December. Midnight is the right answer. And Raven, here Edgar Allan Poe has also written short stories like The Parloon Letter, then the Murder in the Rue Morgue, then the Pendulum. Okay, these are all works written by Edgar Allan Poe, who was a dark romantic writer. And here the Raven is here. The poem begins after midnight on a cold December evening. A man, the narrator, sits alone by the fire, dozing off as he reads a book, hoping to forget about Lenore. And Lenore, who was Lenore? Lenore, his lost love. While he sits, he hears a knocking at the door. The Raven is a narrative poem by American writer Edgar Allan Poe. Okay? And the elements of supernatural can be found in that work, where it tells of a distraught lover who is paid by a mysterious visit by a talking raven. The lover, often identified as a student, is lamenting the loss of his love, Lenore. Sitting on a bust of Pallas, the raven seems to further antagonize the protagonist with its constant repetition of the word nevermore. So nevermore is the repetition of constant repetition of the word nevermore can be found in this poem. Which work of Chaucer does not belong to the Chaucer's Italian period? Which work of Chaucer doesn't belong to Chaucer's Italian period? The House of Fame, Canterbury Tales, Legend of Good Women, Troilus and Cressidi. So which works of Chaucer does not belong to Chaucer's Italian period? House of Fame, Canterbury Tales, Legend of Good Women and Troilus and Cressidi. Here you see that Chaucer's Italian period, here Canterbury Tales is actually a work of English period of Chaucer. Here Canterbury Tales is the right answer. Canterbury Tales, which is written in the Middle English, Canterbury Tales is the right answer. Whereas House of Fame is actually a parody of House of Fame is following the structure of Dante's Divine Comedy. Troilus and Cressidi, Legend of Good Women is actually Troilus and Cressidi has written where the fickleness of women can be found in that work, Troilus and Cressidi, and it's a palinode. It's Legend of Good Women. Okay, Legend of Good Women is the palinode of Troilus and Cressidi by Chaucer, where the women were portrayed, depicted as a good. So Troilus and Cressidi, where rhyme royal was introduced, and Legend of Good Women is an incomplete work. It's an incomplete work. Heroic couplet was introduced in Legend of Good Women. Heroic couplet was introduced in Legend of Good Women, whereas rhyme royal was introduced in Troilus and Cressidi. Canterbury Tales here is a collection of 24 stories. Runs to over 17,000 lines, written in Middle English by Geoffrey Chaucer between 1387 and 1400. Okay. So Chaucer's death was an allegory on the death of Blanche, wife of his patron. Chaucer's death was an allegory on the death of Blanche, the wife of his patron. Here, the House of Fame, the Parliament of Fowls, the Legend of Good Women, the Book of the Duchess. So Chaucer's death was an allegory. Do answer in the comment box. It is actually the Book of Duchess. The Book of Duchess was an allegory on the death of Blanche, the wife of his patron. So the Book of Duchess. Okay. The Book of Duchess, also known as Death of Blanche, is the earliest of Chaucer's major poems. Chaucer wrote the poem to commemorate the death of Blanche of Lancaster, wife of John of Gaunt. In which story the character of Griselda, in which story the character of Griselda appears? Griselda appears the Miller's Tales, the Reeve's Tales, the Clark's Tales, the Friar's Tales. So here the character Griselda appears in the Clark's Tale. So C is the right option here. Griselda is a fictional character appearing in the Clark's Tale, a story he shares during his journey with several other travelers in Canterbury Tales by Geoffrey Chaucer. Influence of Griselda came from Decameron. So Boccaccio's Decameron, a frame narrative similar to the Canterbury Tales. The clerk informs the group before telling this tale that he originally heard it from Petrarch while studying philosophy in Italy. The clerk's story of Griselda is told after the wife of Bath's tale about a submissive husband. Griselda is known for the folklore that inspired her appearance in Decameron and the Canterbury Tales as being submissive to her husband. The tale itself shows Griselda as an example of a wife's behavior to that period. Who is the author of Heaven and Earth, a Mystery? Heaven and Earth, a Mystery. Lord Tennyson, William Wordsworth, John Keats, Lord Byron. Who is the author of Heaven and Earth, a Mystery? Here, Lord Tennyson, that is wrong. William Wordsworth, wrong. John Keats, wrong. Lord Byron. Lord Byron is the answer. Who is the author of Heaven and Earth and a Mystery? It is actually Lord Byron. Lord Byron has written Heaven and Earth, a Mystery. Next question. Which of the following novelist is not considered a Victorian? Okay, which of the following novelist is not considered a Victorian? So the Victorian era spans from 1837 to 1901. So here Charles Dickens belongs to the Victorian novelist, William Makepeace Thackeray, George Eliot, Oscar Wilde, whereas Jane Austen is from Regency era. Okay, Regency era. Okay, Regency period. And especially here Jane Austen is the right answer, and especially you see that officially Regency era spanned from 1811 to 1820, whereas okay, the Regency era of British history is commonly applied to the years between 1795 to 1837. Okay, 1795 to 1837. Okay, before the accession of Queen Victoria. Okay, although the official Regency for which it is named only spanned the years 1811 to 1820. So Jane Austen was that period. Okay, she has written okay in that period Regency. In Marlowe's play, what was the name of the Jew of Malta? In Marlowe's play, what was the name of the Jew of Malta? Lady Lazarus, Solomon, Barabbas, Silo. So in Marlowe's play, the name of the Jew of Malta is actually Barabbas. So here C is the right answer. And here is the explanation. Barabbas, Christopher Marlowe's first movie, played the famous tragedy of the rich Jew of Malta. It's a tale of violent conflict between Christians, Jews, and the Turks. Here, its hero villain, Barabbas, a wealthy Jew, has a cruel but intoxicating desire for money and revenge, but is ultimately punished at the end of the tragedy, at the end of the play. So it is here Barabbas is the hero villain of the famous tragedy of Rich of Jew of Malta by Christopher Marlowe. When was the Seven Lamps of Architecture? Seven Lamps of Architecture was first published. So who wrote? किसने लिखा था सेवन लैम्प्स ऑफ आर्किटेक्चर? किसने लिखा था? पहले तो बोलो किसने लिखा था. सो इट इज पब्लिश्ड इन May 1859, May 1849, May 1839, May 1829. So Seven Lamps of Architecture is by John Ruskin. Okay, and it was published in May 1849. Seven Lamps of Architecture is an extended essay first published in May 1849 and written by the English art critic and the theorist John Ruskin. So John Ruskin has written Seven Lamps of Architecture that was published in May 1849. Okay, the Stone of Vanish. Okay, these are all works then that is another important work by John Ruskin I can remember right now, where he has coined the pathetic fallacy. Pathetic modern painters. Okay, modern painters. Yeah, modern painters is another important work by John Ruskin, where he had coined the terms pathetic fallacy. Okay, chalo. Santaram is a 2003 novel. Santaram is a 2003 novel. Okay, in which a convicted Australian bank robber and a heroin addict escapes from Pentridge prison and flees to India. The novel is commended by many for its vivid portrayal of life in Bombay in the early to late 1980s. Who is the author? This is an autobiographical novel. Okay, it is autobiographical novel where Santaram is a 2003 novel in which a convicted Australian bank robber and a heroin addict escapes from Pentridge prison, okay, and flees to India. The novel is commended by many for its vivid portrayal of life in Bombay in the late 1980s. Who is the author? Gregory David Roberts, Christopher Koch, and then you have Alfred Jelinek, Christiana Steed. So here Santaram, the autobiographical novel, was written by Gregory David Roberts. Gregory David Roberts has written Santaram, which is a 2003 novel. Okay, Santaram is a 2003 novel by Gregory David Roberts in which a convicted Australian bank robber and a heroin addict escapes from Pentridge prison and flees to India. The novel is commended by many for its vivid portrayal of life in Bombay in the early to late 1980s. Okay. In 1978, you see, Roberts was sentenced to 19-year imprisonment in Australia after being convicted of series of armed robberies in building society, branches, credit unions, and shops. In July 1980, he escaped from Victoria's Pentridge prison in broad daylight, thereby becoming one of Australia's most wanted men for the next 10 years. And the protagonist Lindsay according to the book, Robert Feigney arrives in Bombay carrying a false passport. That's why it is actually autobiographical novel. The protagonist Lindsay of this novel Santaram, that is published in 2003, according to the book, Robert Feigney arrives in Bombay carrying a false passport in the name of Lindsay Ford. In the name of Lindsay Ford. The agent of salvation for Dante in the Divine Comedy is Virgil, Beatrix, Saint Peter, Jesus Christ. So the agent of salvation for Dante in the Divine Comedy is here Beatrix, because Virgil was a pagan. Okay, can't enter again into that. Okay, into the Paradiso. So here you see the Divine Comedy has three parts: Inferno, Purgatorio, and Paradiso. Inferno, Purgatorio, ठीक है, and Paradiso. So these are three parts of Divine Comedy. So in Paradiso it was okay, it was Beatrice, okay, who was leading, okay, who was the agent of salvation for Dante in Paradiso. Inferno and Purgatory it was Virgil, and Virgil was a pagan. That's why he can't enter into that sphere of paradise. That's why here Beatrix is actually leading. So here Beatrice is the right answer. Beatrice was Dante's real life love interest and muse for Madhya's poetry. So it is fitting that she acts as Dante's guide to the divine. She also seems to be the main agent of his salvation here. So critics have long noted that how Beatrix acts as a sort of Christ figure for Dante. As a pagan, Virgil can't enter heaven, so he is replaced with the next guide. The guide is here in Paradiso. It is Beatrix. Okay, is the guide in Paradiso who takes Dante from purgatory to heaven. From purgatory to heaven, that is Paradiso. ठीक है, चलो. Which of these is not a history play? Which of these is not a history play? Richard III, Henry V, Merchant of Venice, Richard II. So these are about Richard III, Richard II, Henry V. These are all works is a history play, whereas Merchant of Venice is not a history play. So Merchant of Venice is the right answer. Next question. Chaucer was called the father of English poetry. Who called Chaucer as the father of English poetry? By Byron, Shakespeare, Donne. So it was Dryden. Dryden has confirmed called Chaucer as the father of English poetry. It is Dryden. Chalo. Next question. In Chaucer's The Canterbury Tales, which tale deals with two young Theban warriors? ठीक है, The Canterbury Tales. In Chaucer's The Canterbury Tales, which tale deals with two young Theban warriors? The Friar's Tale, the Squire's Tales, the Miller's Tales, Knight's Tale. So it is actually the Knight's Tale, the first tale of the Canterbury Tales. Here the Knight's Tale is actually dealing with the two young Theban warriors. Here the Knight's Tale is the right answer. And the Knight's Tale inspired by Greek legend and Boccaccio's Tessida. So Knight's Tale is actually inspired by Boccaccio's Tessida. Boccaccio's Tessida had influenced here the Knight's Tale. Chaucer's The Knight's Tale is the first and longest of all the Canterbury Tales here. The tale is narrated by the knight and features characters drawn from Greek legend: Theseus, Hippolyta, Creon, two knights from Thebes, and a bunch of gods. So it is to the Knight's Tale where the Theban two knights from Theban appear. Who is the author of the poetry collection Passage to India? Passage to India, you see, Passage to India had influenced E.M. Forster to write his novel A Passage to India, that is published in 1924. Passage to India is a poetry collection. This poetry collection Passage to India was written by William Wordsworth, Robert Frost, Walt Whitman, Emily Dickinson. So Passage to India is actually about the Suez Canal. Here Walt Whitman has been the father of free verse in American literature. The father of free verse in American literature is actually Walt Whitman, and he has written the poetry collection called Passage to India, and it had this poetry collection had influenced E.M. Forster to write his novel, 1924 novel, A Passage to India. Here Walt Whitman is the right answer, and here you see the poetry collection titled poem Passage to India was Whitman's last major poem, and Whitman wrote it in 1869. So he wrote it in 1869 after the Suez Canal was first opened. Okay, when the Suez Canal was opened, okay, he wrote it. And E.M. Forster titled A Passage to India, a 1924 novel, after the poem. Got it? Okay. Next question. In what year was the first edition of Leaves of Grass? Leaves of Grass is actually written by whom? Walt Whitman. Walt Whitman has written Leaves of Grass. Okay. In what year was the first edition of Leaves of Grass published? 1872, 1892, 1860, or 1855. So it is 1855. 1855 में published होता है पहले Leaves of Grass. Okay. 1855 is the right answer. In what year was the first edition of Leaves of Grass was published? It was in 1855, written by Walt Whitman. Next question. Sorry, here is the expression you see that Leaves of Grass is a poetry collection by American poet Walt Whitman. Though it was first published in 1855, here Whitman spent most of his professional life writing, rewriting, and expanding Leaves of Grass until his death 1892. By the way, Leaves of Grass for the first time a poetry collection published in 1855 by the American poet Walt Whitman. Okay, got it. Which famous literary work features a college known as Solomon's House? Okay, Utopia by Thomas More, Gulliver's Travels by Jonathan Swift, The New Atlantis by Francis Bacon, Brave New World by Aldous Huxley. So, which famous literary work features a college known as Solomon's House? A college named Solomon's House appeared in The New Atlantis, the utopian novel by Francis Bacon, which is an incomplete work. Which is an incomplete work. Okay, so The New Atlantis by Francis Bacon is the right answer. Going on to question 18 here. Mind is its own place. The mind is here. The mind is in its own place, and in itself can make a heaven of hell or a hell of heaven. The mind is its own place and in itself can make a heaven of hell and hell of heaven. In which work by John Milton do these lines occur? In his work by John, in which part of John Milton's Paradise Lost? Okay, Paradise Lost. Okay, in which part of John Milton's Paradise Lost do these lines appear? Now, Paradise Lost Book 1, Paradise Lost Book 2, Book 3 and Book 4. The mind is its own place and itself can make a heaven of hell and a hell of heaven. And these lines are actually spoken by whom? These lines are spoken by Satan. And these lines appear in Paradise Lost Book 1. These lines appear in Paradise Lost Book 1, where it is about the rain in hell. Okay, Paradise Lost Book 1 is the right answer here. Who is the poet usually referred to the poet's poet? Who is the poet usually referred to as the poet's poet? William Shakespeare, John Milton, Edmund Spencer, Samuel Taylor Coleridge. It was Edmund Spencer. It was confirmed by Charles Lamb. Charles Lamb ने बोला था किसको? Edmund Spencer को that he is the poet's poet. So Edmund Spencer is the right answer. According to the lines, okay. Let me not to the marriage of true minds admit impediments. Love is not love which alters when it alternation finds. What does love is not love which alters when it alternation finds mean? Love is unchanging and unaffected by external circumstances. Love is fickle and easily influenced by changes. Love is blind and ignorant of any alternation. Love is deceptive. It is wrong. So here, love is unchanging and unaffected by external circumstances. The meaning of the sentence, love is in love which alters when it alternation finds. So here A is the right answer. Which term is associated with women writers of the 18th century? Red stocking, blue stocking, green stocking, yellow stocking. Which term is associated with the women writers of the 18th century? So it is blue stocking. Blue stocking is associated with women writers of the 18th century. So here B is the right answer. The Blue Stocking Society, an informal women's social and educational movement in England in the mid-18th century, emphasized educational and mutual cooperation. Elizabeth Montague, Elizabeth Vesey, and the others founded it in the early 1750s. So here you see, when the term blue stocking was first associated with the intimate social groupings that are made at the saloons of Montague, Vesey, and Boscan. By the 1770s, the name came to apply and to learn to women more generally. So here the Blue Stocking Society of mid-18th century. Chalo. Who claimed to write fiction that could be called a comic epic in prose? Okay, comic epic, a fiction that could be called a comic epic in prose. William Shakespeare, Charles Dickens, Henry Fielding, Jane Austen. So it is Henry Fielding. Henry Fielding in Joseph Andrews. Henry Fielding has written Joseph Andrews, the novel. Joseph Andrews, okay. Joseph Andrews, an Indian novel, okay, he has spoken that fiction that could be called as a comic epic in prose. Comic epic in prose. This is Joseph Andrews by Henry Fielding. Reading make the fool man. Reading make the fall man. Fool man. And a conference a dash man, and writing an exact man. Reading make the fool man, conference dash man, and writing an exact man. So these lines are actually spoken from Of Studies, okay. After this is an essay by Francis Bacon. This is an essay by Francis Bacon, and these lines are from Of Studies. So you have to fill the blank here reading make the fool man, whereas conference are witty man, a ready man, a shrewd man, and a happy man. It is ready man. Okay, so here you see that reading make the fool man, conference are ready man, conference are ready man, and writing an exact man, writing an exact man. So here ready is the B is the right answer. Moving on to question 24 here. Who is identified by the first scholar as the beautiful, most beautiful women? Okay, who is identified by the first scholar as the beautiful, as the most beautiful? Okay, chalo, as the most beautiful women in Dr. Foster's. Okay, who is identified by the first scholar as the most beautiful women? So scholar is actually here Dr. Foster's, in Dr. Foster's. Queen Dido of Carthage, Helen of Troy, Guinevere, Cleopatra. So here Helen of Troy is identified by the first scholar named Dr. Foster's as the most beautiful women. So here Helen of Troy is the right answer. What is Hamlet's plan? Hamlet का plan क्या था? Catch the conscience of King Claudius. To catch the conscience of King Claudius in Hamlet. The plan was to trick Rosencrantz and Guildenstern, stage a play, suddenly attack the king, or murder Polonius. Here the plan was actually stage a play, and here is the explanation. You see, Hamlet resolves to devise a trap for Claudius, forcing the king to watch a play which plot closely resembles the murder of Hamlet's father. If the king is guilty, he thinks he will surely show some visible sign of guilt when he sees his sin reenacted in the stage. Okay, so he resolves to devise a trap for Claudius, forcing the king to watch a play which plot closely resembles the murder of Hamlet's father. If the king is guilty, he thinks he will surely show some visible sign of guilt when he sees his sin reenacted, okay, on stage. So on stage is the adaptation. Which one of the following images isn't used to compare the lovers in the poem The Canonization? Canonization by John Donne here. Which one among the following images, okay, isn't used to compare the lovers in the poem The Canonization? Fly is a image that was used in canonization. Tapestry, taper was also, and phoenix myth, the myth of phoenix, also appear in canonizations, whereas a pair of compass does not appear. So here pair of compass is the right answer. Pair of compass is the right answer. And here a valediction forbidding murder. Okay, and this the pair of compass, the imagery of pair of compass appears in a valediction. Okay, a valediction, this is the name of the poem, a valediction, and that is actually a forbidding murder. Okay, forbidding murder. In this poem, the image of a pair of compass can be found. A valediction, forbidding murder is the poem where the images of two compass can be found. A valediction, forbidding murder, the relationship between two lovers who are shortly to be parted is compared to a pair of compasses. Okay, the legs of the compass may move apart, but they will always be joined together. The legs will be move apart, but they will always be joined together. So a valediction, forbidding murder, the image of the compass can be found in that metaphysical poem by Donne. Who wrote Osage County? August Osage County. This is a play. Edward L.B., Eugene O'Neill, Paul Vogel, Tracy Letts, American playwright. Okay, so August Osage County was written by Tracy Letts. Tracy Letts has written the play August Osage County, and here is the explanation. August Osage County is a tragicomedy played by Tracy Letts. It was the recipient of the 2008 Pulitzer Prize for Drama. Okay, 2008 पे उसको Pulitzer Prize for Drama मिला था. ठीक है, Pulitzer Prize for Drama मिला था. ठीक है, Pulitzer Prize 2008 पे. Tracy, it is Tracy. Tracy Letts has written August Osage County. Next question here. Cultural studies emerged in the late 1950s. Britain, Africa, India, Germany. So cultural studies emerged in Britain. Okay, in Britain in the late 1950s. Britain में पहले हुआ था, उसके बाद अमेरिका एंड ऑस्ट्रेलिया में स्प्रेड हुआ था. ठीक है, cultural studies emerged again in Britain in the late 1950s and subsequently spread internationally, notably to the United States and Australia. Okay, and today's 29 actually, Center for Contemporary Cultural Studies at the University of Birmingham. It is CCE. Okay, and here Center for CCC then S. Okay, so Center for Contemporary Cultural Studies at the University of Birmingham, founded in 1960, 1950, 1964, 1970 में कब हुआ था? Good evening, Rob. Good evening. Good evening. Center for Contemporary Cultural Studies at the University of Birmingham, founded in excellent 1964 में excellent Rob, it is 1964. ठीक है. Center for Contemporary Cultural Studies at the University of Birmingham, founded in 1964. Excellent. And today's last question here. Today's last questions. Join today. Join tomorrow again. Okay, I'll be covering another important MCQs. Okay, this last question is here. Okay. This explanation. The Center for Contemporary Cultural Studies (CCCS) was a research center at the University of Birmingham, England. It was founded in 1964 by Stuart Hall and Richard Hogarth. Its past director of the Stuart Hall and Richard Hogarth ने क्या किया था? इसको founded किया था in 1964. That is CCCS, Center for Contemporary Cultural Studies. Okay. And today's last question here. I will be ending here. Who were the authors of Dialectic of Enlightenment? Okay. Dialectic of Enlightenment: Lawrence Grusbach and Cindy Lanson, Theodore Adorno and Max Horkheimer, John Froh and Megan Morris, Roland Barthes. Okay. Yeah, I can understand. Okay, I can understand now. Okay. No, I informed it late. Okay, don't worry. I can understand. Okay, after 4 to 5 days, okay, I came live. Excellent. Got it. Theodore Adorno and Max Horkheimer has written Dialectic of Enlightenment, and I had prepared only 30 questions. Okay, excellent. 30B is the right answer here. Excellent. I had prepared only 30 questions. Okay, for today's session. Don't worry, I'll be covering another important sessions. Okay, tomorrow. Okay, tomorrow onwards there will be every day there will be okay live classes. Okay, I was busy in my own work. That's why okay I didn't. So here the explanation you see, the Dialectic of Enlightenment is a work of philosophy and social criticism written by Frankfurt School philosophers called Max Horkheimer and Theodore Adorno. Okay, so these were all 30 questions that I have discussed along with explanation in this explanation. Please make sure to subscribe to the channel, tap the bell icon to get more notification, and do not forget to tap the bell icon as well to stay updated. Thank you, and good night to everyone. Thank you and good night to everyone. Good night, everyone. I'll be covering other important sessions tomorrow. Okay, watch the sessions from the very beginning and will definitely help you. Okay, good night. Okay, thank you.